scientific name gingerbread officinalis. It is an herb. The rhizome is used as a spray and also as a medicine. It can be used fresh, dry, and powder, or as juice or oil. Ginger is a knotted stick by under stem called the rhizome. The stem sticks up about 12 inches above ground with long, narrow, green leaves and weight on yellow with green flowers. Ginger's current name comes from the Middle English gingerbread. The ginger dates back over 3,000 years to the Sandwich Rara, meaning herb root, with reference to its appearance. Although it was well known to the ancient Romans, ginger nearly disappeared in Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire. Thanks to Marco Polo's trip to the Far East, ginger came back into favor in Europe, becoming not only a much coveted spice but also a very expensive one. Queen Elizabeth I of England is credited with the invention of the gingerbread man, which became a popular Christmas treat. Ginger is in the same family as turmeric and cardamom. It is native to Southern Asia and has long been a staple addition to Asian cuisines. Ginger is quite popular in the Caribbean islands, where it grows well in loose tropical settings, and this island currently provides most of the world's supply, followed by India, Africa, and China. The narrow, bumpy root of the ginger plant is the source of this wonderful spice. Although it is easily grown in tropical regions of the south, it will rarely be treated with plums during cultivation at home the way it does normally in the wild. In Western cuisine, ginger is traditionally used mainly in sweet food such as ginger ale, gingerbread, ginger snap, and parquet. In India and Pakistan, fresh ginger is one of the main spices used for making puns and lentil curries and other vegetable preparations. Fresh, as well as dry, ginger is used to spice tea and coffee, especially in winter. Ginger powder is also used in certain food preparations, particularly for pregnant or nursing women. In Bangladesh, ginger is finely chopped or ground into a paste to use as a base for chicken and meat dishes, alongside shallot and garlic. In Vietnam, the fresh ginger used to make ginger tea or congee ginger are very useful for cold prevention and treatment, or also can be used to add more flavor to food as ginger fish sauce used with chicken salad. In China, sliced or whole ginger root is often paired with savory dishes such as fish, and chopped ginger root is commonly paired with meat when it is cooked. And a herbal tea can also be prepared from ginger.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Can you introduce a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Dr. Tanya Tran. I'm a family physician and I work at the Grey Nuns Hospital and the University of Alberta Hospital.
Right. So, how do you know about ginger? And as a doctor, do you know, does it have any uses in medicine?
Oh, for sure. Ginger is a very commonly used natural drug. It is a herb and has been used for centuries by people around the world. There have been some studies about the use of ginger in medicine, and it's used very commonly in our population.
So can you talk about some, like, what are the uses of ginger in medicine and how does it work?
Sure. So ginger typically is used for nausea and vomiting symptoms, most commonly. And people think it works by stimulating gastric secretions and peristalsis, which is the normal movement of the gastroesophageal system that allows us to move food through our system. In terms of other uses, I'm just looking at my cheat sheet. Some people have looked at the activity as an anti-inflammatory, as an antimicrobial, to help with cancer, high cholesterol, muscle pain, and dizziness, vertigo, which is associated with motion sickness. But the most common use is for nausea and vomiting. And it's very commonly used in populations that can't tolerate other medications because of their side effects. So, for example, in pregnancy, it's recommended for nausea and vomiting. We also recommend it for motion sickness. It's non-sedating, so people don't get sleepy.
Okay.
So if they need to be alert to do their work, or they just don't want to be stoned on other medications, they'll try ginger.
Okay.
And also, it's generally pretty safe.
Oh, so who shouldn't take ginger?
Well, that's a good question. There are some people who probably shouldn't take ginger. Obviously, children under the age of 2. It hasn't been studied or proven safe for babies. But people with chronic conditions, particularly bleeding conditions, should really be hesitant to use natural drugs like ginger because it can interact with bleeding times and cause problems with bleeding. So patients, for example, who are on the medication Coumadin, should avoid taking natural supplements in general, particularly ginger as well. Also, I would also recommend patients who are on a lot of other medications, whether it's stomach medications or heart medications, should really ask their physicians for their opinion as to whether or not ginger is right for them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for your information.
You're welcome.
Thanks. As you see, GD chicken, and I'm going to make chicken ginger. It's a very familiar Vietnamese food. This is oil and garlic. And then chicken, you cook is chicken about half cooked. Chicken about half cooked, and then ginger and this sauce. Soy sauce. Sugar. And then finally I add some green onion as the garnish. You can add some pepper to add more flavor for this food.